honestly, I have no idea what type of exhaust I am getting. So I'm putting my full trust in the guru. So Russ, what is the plan for today? What type of exhaust are we going for?
To be honest with you, we don't know what exhaust we're doing for you, so
great.
It's going to be a total surprise, and basically you're going to get what you're given. But whatever it'll be totally cool, and I'm sure you'll love it. But what we've done already is I've cut a load of pie cuts ready for the exhaust system, because we're going to do a pie cut exhaust for you, and it's going to be all TIG welded up, so it'll look super cool.
Wicked.
So first thing we start with any exhaust pipe is the actual headers, which is basically 1 3/4 inch pipe or tube that'll come out of your cylinder heads. They'll bolt up in there like that, and then wherever we're going to go with the exhaust, it would step up to 2 inch. So we're going to use a 2 inch system on this Sportster because it will sound really great. Generally, most of the guys run 1 3/4 inch system on the Sportsters, but we'll put a 2 inch on yours because they look cool and it sound cool. So that's what we're going to do, I think.
Fantastic. Rock and roll.
Yep. I think we're going to need probably about 10 sections on here, I think, to get you a loop.
So with the tacking you've done at the moment, Russ, are you lining things up, thinking about how it's going to work? And
yeah, pretty much. Just more sort of getting a vision of how it's going to start to look, really. Nice thing about doing pie cut exhaust is that if you're not too happy with it or you need to tweak anything, you can just break the tacks and rotate the system or add more pieces in or take pieces out to get exactly what you want, which is something you can't do with like a bent tube. And the other nice thing about using pie cuts is you can get really tight radiuses in there, because all I've got to do is put a bigger angle in here to get a tighter radius.
Right, okay.
Again, which is something else you're never going to get with like a mandrel bent tube. So that's why we like pie cuts. So it's not purely just for the fact that they look cool, but they are practical as well. So what we're going to do now is kind of think we know we're going with your first bend on your exhaust. So what we need to do is make a swage or a step to go from the 1 3/4 to the 2 inch pipe. So here's one I did earlier, sort of Blue Peter fashion. But what I've done is I've put a bit of a swage on there. I don't know if you zoomed up on it, Mark?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Put a slight swage on there. And then that's your 1 3/4 pipe. So effectively what it does, it allows you to slide on there. So you've gone from 1 3/4 up to 2 inch. And then obviously what we'll do is we'll weld that on to the actual system. So what we'll do now is just cut that down to length and tack it onto your start the first bend and go from there.
Brilliant.
Back over to the wheel.
Back over to the wheel.
Back over to the bike.
So what we've decided to do is have the exhaust slightly slanting upwards. So Russ has just positioning it right, like
Ish.
that-ish. So yeah, it looks really good so far. Super excited.
Yeah, what I'll probably do, are you filming or?
Do you want me to, yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can film this bit if you want.
Yeah, we can always edit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It's not live stream.
What I'll probably do, yeah, good job too. What I'll probably do now is take it apart. I'll probably weld this section up now, and then I'll weld all this section up now, because I find if you used to tack a whole system up and then weld it, it does distort and pull. So the last thing I'll actually do is kind of weld this knuckle on and such. So if it does pull a little bit, you've always got like a little bit of adjustment on the knuckles to bring it out, up, down, or tuck it in. So that's what we're going to do. So take it apart, back over to the welder, get some more tacks on there. We'll give it a satin polish so it doesn't look all shiny and nice for you.
Yeah.
And then clean it, and then we'll start welding it.
Amazing.
Let's do it. Do now is give it a clean with some acetone. And then we'll finish tacking it up, and then we'll set up the purging to back purge it, and then we'll weld it up.
Beautiful.
And you'll see the finished result.
Hold it there. Just talk me through that.
Okay, what we've done is I've back purged it with an argon gas. Reason for that is when you're welding stainless, if you wasn't to back purge it with an argon gas, you'd get a build-up of, we call it crystallisation, which instantly causes a weak spot on stainless. So by back purging it, eliminates that, so it'll be as good on the inside as it is on the outside. You'll probably notice that I didn't use a filler rod when doing this, because I think I always say in welding it's all down to the weld preparation and your joints. The better the fit, the better the weld. That is it. So by having a decent saw and being able to cut them and put a nice chamfer on there, I can just run them in, and that's as strong as you're going to get. So but that's it. Shears there basically.
Fantastic.
Well, I think that's looking pretty good, Mark. I reckon what we do is tack these couple up here. So I think maybe like we'll offer a straight section up with a little bit of a kick up on here.
Yeah.
I think if we follow the line of this belt here, I think that would look quite cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So yeah, let me cut a straight section. I'll put it on there, because it might be a case of just only having 3 sections there, so it's not so pointy down and such.
Yeah.
And then that gives us something quite gnarly to do with the back pipe then.
So, what are we going to do now, Russ?
Right, we're just going to put on 3 tacks on here, so we can tack the main pipe onto the header. Now that we're happy with the angle of the dangle, so we'll tack that on the bike whilst it's in position, and then it's just basically we don't need like 3 pairs of hands to hold anything on it now. So just going to go ahead and tack that. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased with the way it's sort of turned out so far. Apart from the obvious, we've just got final weld these. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 welds to do, and then that front pipe's done. But I'll probably do that once all the second cylinder's all tacked up. So yeah, we're about to start that and see how it turns out like. We haven't got a clue yet, have we not?
No, but I think that's...
None whatsoever.
But I think that's the beauty. I mean, obviously, Russell's been asking me for a while what type of exhaust you like, send me some inspiration, and in true fashion I'm just a bit overwhelmed to an extent of all the choices.
Yeah, I think you've had probably about 2, maybe 3 ideas of mine, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think and again it goes back to, you can see the exhaust on the bike, but again you want that custom pipe, you want something that hasn't perhaps been done before, and that's the challenge, isn't it?
Oh sure, yeah.
So I think with this we'll have something that hasn't been an exact copy, put it that way. So
no. Keep in mind, when you first came down here, you wanted that big drain pipe 3-inch style pipe. And then I think the novelty probably wore off after about a couple of weeks, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then when I mocked up the when we mocked up, used your bike to mock up the Maidstone Battle of the Kings exhaust.
Yeah.
You was quite fond of that one, weren't you?
Yeah, I really liked that one, but I promised Harry at Maidstone Harley that I wouldn't have that done, so no, that's fine. But yeah, this should come out really well. As I said, we're halfway through it. It's a full day that Russell spent on this. Obviously, hope you're enjoying it. This is obviously the full customization series. Apart from that, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And in terms of Russell, I've got all his details in my description box down below. Click on it and you can go straight to his homepage and have a chat with him. You know, as you can see, he's a good guy, really easy to get on with. So yeah, explain to the camera what I'm doing as I'm climbing up.
Right, watch this, people, because Mark's going to attempt to climb up here without dropping the bike on the floor and also injuring himself. We're sort of debating what to do with this rear section, whether to have like a loop come over, under, but we're trying to think about legs being burnt in here, and I can already see that it might be a bit of an issue like that, won't it, Mark?
Yeah.
See, that's alright.
Yeah, I've just got to be really mindful of. I've got to come down on my left leg, essentially.
Well, yeah, nah. If you're going to burn yourself, you're only going to do it at once, aren't you, really? You won't do it
well,
again.
I'm known to do things multiple times.
Oh, well, put your leg back down.
Yeah.
You go for it. I think what we do is make that a little bit shorter, I think. There she goes.
There we are.
That's it like that.
Oh, that looks awesome. That looks great. Custom pipes.
Okay, Mark, what we're going to do now is machine up 2 O2 sensor bosses for your exhaust. Obviously, you're going to need them because your system, being fuel injected, runs O2 sensors. So we've got to machine up 2 bosses for that, so we can screw them into it and then weld them onto your exhaust. So let's do it. Here goes. O2 bosses are done.
Yep.
And then what we should be able to do is, here's one of your O2 sensor, tiny little things. It screws in place like that, and then what we'll do now is take it over there and weld it to your exhaust. Right, let's weld her on and then we can fire her up. Yeah!
Ta-da! So here it is, guys. Absolutely stoked. So big thanks to Russ.
Looks good.
It looks amazing. Really, really happy. But we've got to do one final thing.
What's that? Go home?
Go home. But first, we got to do that. Well, we're definitely going to
Fire it up. Tomorrow we can fire up. No.
We're going to do
bollocks, let's do it now.
We're going to do it now. So obviously, Russ and I haven't heard this before. This could be a bit of a surprise for me, but I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, here we go.
Go on, Mark, do the bits.
Here we go.
So Mark, is that louder than your grenades?
That's louder than my grenades, and they're smoking.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Right, guys, thanks for following this journey so far. So this is part 3. This is the custom exhaust done. So now we move on to part 4, and I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook. I do loads of updates, and obviously Instagram as well. And as I mentioned earlier, Russ will be in the description box down below. All the best. Motonewbrider and Russell.
Bye.
Cool. Can you put baffles in it, or is?
What yellow baffles do you think you want it loud?